Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Toxic Bitcoin maximalism is arguably the worst thing about being in the crypto space. Some of these people, they are just absolutely insufferable. And I don't doubt that some of them really believe the stupid things that they're saying, but they're effectively in a cult. Bitcoin is their religion, and they're just regurgitating what they hear within their echo chamber. And I guess you hear it enough, maybe you do start to believe. I mean, for some people, that's probably true. And so over the last couple days, some of these toxic Bitcoin maximalists have just gone off the rails. And it's not necessarily a surprise, but since Trump cited that XRP would be part of a United States strategic crypto reserve, they're losing their minds. First of all, they despise XRP because they're irrational. And second of all, if they're a maximalist, they only want one coin to exist, period, because that's stupid, of course. Even though Bitcoin can't do like pretty much anything that any other coin can do. I mean, yeah, there's some other coins out there that are not particularly sophisticated, but I'm just saying, like, it's not exactly advanced, let's say. Okay, it has attributes that are clearly desirable. The world has said, yes, those attributes that Bitcoin has, they're clearly desirable. Also, you know, the fact that there's no decentralized or no centralized issuer, or like there's no centralized control. Rather, there's an issuer. There's no. You'll see why I'm going to bring that back up a little bit later in the video. But there's no central authority. Obviously, the Bitcoin immutable transactions. So just some very simple attributes that Bitcoin has. That's been enough to keep it as number one in market cap. But still, it doesn't. Like, if you really want one coin to rule them all, that would mean that all the other things that are technologically possible with other cryptocurrencies, the world will just never have if you got your way. It's just the dumbest take. Being a toxic Bitcoin maximalist is a stupid thing to do. But the XRP army here is fighting back, so I want to highlight some of this. Also, there were a couple surprises, a couple figures that came to the defense of the XRP community that you definitely wouldn't guess. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So take a look at this headline from the Crypto Basic. Saylor changes stance on XRP and Cardano, says their inclusion in U.S. reserve ploy bullish for Bitcoin and crypto. Now, this is fascinating because Michael Saylor, this guy, talk about toxic Bitcoin maximalism. Remember his stupid line, there is no second best. There literally is. Ethereum's number 2 in market cap. Pick a different metric and you can have a different number 2, but Jesus. This guy, some of the stuff he said, I know he's a smart guy, but some of the stuff he says, it's absolutely Looney Tune stuff here. And before the SEC v. Ripple case had concluded, he went on national television and said that XRP itself was a security just by the very nature of it existing, and he said that the courts are going to find that was the case. Of course, he was disastrously wrong. He also said that there would never be any sort of XRP ETF. He said the same thing about Ethereum, and just months after he said that, the Ethereum one did get approved in 2024, so that's kind of hilarious. He's not got the best hit right here for some of this stuff, but given that he is absolutely a maximalist, I was kind of surprised to see what he had to say about this. I genuinely, I did not think he'd be in this camp. So check this out. Strategy Chairman Michael Saylor has taken a unique stand on U.S. President Donald Trump's addition of XRP and Cardano to the National Crypto Reserve proposition. In an interview with CNBC yesterday, the Bitcoin maximalist surprisingly nodded to a non-Bitcoin only U.S. crypto reserve, despite repeatedly preaching that there is no second best asset after the flagship crypto asset. He describes the adoption as bullish for Bitcoin and the entire U.S. crypto industry. So I'll just pause to say here, he has the same perspective as Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Because Brad Garlinghouse, he had to fight against the maximalists too. In January when we found out that Trump he put together that executive order to push for an investigation into having a national digital, national digital stockpile for crypto, something like that. And he didn't cite Ripple in that executive order. He didn't cite XRP. And Ripple and XRP holders were just brutally attacked by toxic Bitcoin maximalists because they view XRP as the actual threat. That's the reason that went down. But Brad Garlinghouse, he spoke about this publicly. He's like, look, the fact that, I'm pushing and, for and Ripple is pushing for a diversified crypto reserve, that's good for Bitcoin. That is obviously good for Bitcoin, not just XRP. And Michael Saylor here, surprisingly, actually has the same view clearly as Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse on this. That actually is a surprise. It's just fascinating to see this, right? Then there was this, though. Oh, the Winklevoss twins. Here's a post from Tyler Winklevoss, sharing this with his 1 million followers. And of course, he's the co-founder of crypto exchange Gemini. And he shared Donald Trump's post about XRP, Solana, and Cardano being part of a crypto strategic reserve here. And he doesn't like this. Of course he doesn't like this. So there are some things to say, but here's what he typed. I have nothing against XRP, Solana, or Cardano, but I do not think they are suitable for a strategic reserve. Only one digital asset in the world right now meets the bar, and that digital asset is Bitcoin. Many of these assets are listed for trading on Gemini and meet our rigorous listing policy criteria, but with respect to a strategic reserve, it is another standard. An asset needs to be hard money that is a proven store of value like gold. And folks, see, he doesn't even articulate. So, okay, so what exactly is this standard here? It's obviously just his favorite. I mean, heavy Bitcoin bags much? The answer is clearly yes. And so anytime I see crap like this, I'm just rolling my eyes, man. So I wrote to him and I said, okay, so your standard is that the technologically worst cryptocurrency ever created should be a United States reserve asset, but not anything that's superior in any way. Cool. It's just ridiculous. Oh, by the way, before I forget this is something that I wanted to mention. Saylor, in this interview on CNBC, he asserted multiple times in this video that Bitcoin does not have an issuer. He literally said that on national television. Has he heard of Satoshi Nakamoto? What the hell? The audacity of this guy. Yes, there's an issuer, Satoshi Nakamoto. And we're just going to pretend like there's for sure literally no risk to him holding those literally 1 million, I think it's a little over 1 million Bitcoin that he's got. That's not a risk to the market. We're just going to gloss over that one there and pretend he doesn't exist. Not only is that not a risk, he doesn't even exist. There's no Satoshi Nakamoto, right? There's no issuer. What is these people, folks? It's just insufferable here. It's just hard to. I'm telling you this, and I believe this ever since my earliest of days in crypto. Any cryptocurrency that is going to continue to exist because it's functionally useful and people like it, like XRP, for example, it will get that benefit of store value. That is not unique to Bitcoin. Go ask humans. I've run polls on this on X. Tons of people are holding XRP as a store of value. Not that that's the only reason, not that for all of them it's the most important reason, but it is a reason that tons of people hold XRP, including myself. You can't just look at me and say, yeah, but Bitcoin's the only one that can be a store of value because reasons. That doesn't work, bro. That's not how logic works. You can try and make those stupid arguments, but it ain't gonna stick. I'll tell you that. Here's another toxic Bitcoin maximalist, Joe Carlasare. He's a fairly well-known attorney in the world of crypto here, and he said, if forced to choose between having a multi-asset crypto reserve and no reserve, I would pick no reserve. If it's not Bitcoin only, I'd rather they not do it. That's how these people's brains works. And so the blockchain backer reposted that, and he said, the root of maximalism. It is not enough for me to succeed, but everyone else must fail. Yes, that's exactly correct. That is 100% correct. Here's another toxic Bitcoin maximalist, Joe Burnett. Here you go, director of market research at Unchained. It is a requirement to be a toxic Bitcoin maximalist to work over at Unchained. I'm pretty damn sure. So this guy wrote, it's telling that executives at the largest U.S. crypto exchanges understand that the U.S. strategic reserve should only contain Bitcoin. Nice job, Tyler Winklevoss and Brian Armstrong. He's, of course, the CEO of Coinbase. And that's stupid, and it's actually a bad move to even publicly state that if you run an exchange. Why? Well, Attorney Morgan knocked it out of the park. Here's what he had to say about this. He said, it is telling. A good reason for altcoin holders not to use their exchanges. Why would you put your altcoins on exchanges run by people who desire Bitcoin to be permanently preferred by governments and given an advantage at the expense of your own altcoins their exchanges are holding? Senseless. No thanks. Now, that is a brilliant point. Absolutely correct. It doesn't make sense. It's a bad business move to be saying this. And not only is it just a bad take in general, but in particular, if you're running an exchange and you want favoritism for the worst cryptocurrency that's ever been created from a technological perspective, that one gets protected, but then nothing after it. Just the one, because reasons. Of course. Of course. Take a look at this. This is from Peter Brandt. This guy suffers from XRP derangement syndrome. He's one of the most well-known chart analysts in all crypto, 778,000 followers. He despises XRP. And it's always so irrational, but this is, what do you come to expect from these people? So here's what he wrote. I could not be more serious about this, that Trump suggests that Ethereum and XRP should be part of a reserve has greatly destroyed his credibility with me. This shows a man with little to no discernment. So there you go. That's right. You don't like the coin. You're going to support a coin I don't like? Well, now I just think low of you as a human when I didn't prior to that. That's an adult human. At least he's adult by age. Maybe adult by age only. Like, these perspectives are so silly they deserve to be mocked. They just do. The perspectives are silly. Completely absurd here. Now, we've got this one too. Cardano founder schools Peter Schiff on why Trump named XRP in National Strategic Reserve. Okay, this one's fun. Now, Peter Schiff, he's just never going to admit that he was wrong about crypto. He has insisted it's going to zero the entire crypto asset class. I have asked him so many times. He's never responded to me. And he probably never will. But I'd ask him, okay, like, at what point do you acknowledge that you're wrong? It's like if another 20 years pass and then the crypto asset class, it's still just getting bigger. At what point will you acknowledge that you were just wrong? And he won't do it. I don't believe he's ever going to do it. But he extra doesn't get the other coins. Oh, Peter Schiff. So anyway, he shared this post with his 1.1 million followers. He says, I get the rationale for a Bitcoin reserve. I don't agree with it, but I get it. We have a gold reserve. Bitcoin is digital gold, which is better than analog gold. So let's create a Bitcoin reserve too. But what's the rationale for an XRP reserve? Why the hell would we need that? So folks, when it comes to the crypto asset class, I know he doesn't recognize utility for any of this stuff, but obviously a good answer is that there are coins that do stuff, are useful. Businesses use them, individuals use them. And given that's the case, they're not going to just cease to exist so long as humans find them valuable. So then if they're valuable, the USA can diversify by investing into the asset class and having broad exposure. That's the concept. Just like, humans on an individual level, individual people, purchase ETFs that track the S&P 500, so you got broad exposure to the stock market, for example. Similar here, you're just doing it with crypto, and you're the government instead of an individual person. How is that hard to understand? So then you can make all the arguments about why XRP is useful. And here's the second guy that really surprised me. Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, he's had some harsh words for XRP and the XRP community in the past, but take a look at this one. Don't forget, this is the guy that said that, there were assertions of a grand conspiracy years ago. Remember that whole thing with the SEC and ETH and all that jazz? But check out what he had to say here. He wrote, because XRP is great technology, a global standard, survived for a decade through many harsh cycles, and is one of the strongest communities. I think the president made the right decision. That one gets a little golf clap right there. Absolutely. That one's surprising, you got to admit, right? If you're aware of his past with the XRP community, and then he's like, no, XRP is great technology. Yeah. So I applaud him for speaking the truth there. David Schwartz was obviously surprised by this. He reposted that, and he simply wrote, am I dreaming? And he's one of the creators of XRP and the XRP ledger. Am I dreaming? So it's been interesting. Didn't expect that from him. I didn't expect what we got from Saylor. And of course, with Saylor, I know that's not an endorsement of XRP, but this is the most pro XRP thing that he's ever said after getting XRP wrong for years at this point. So I'll still give him a little bit of credit for that, but the toxic maximalism, I just think it's the most ridiculous thing. But here, so anyway, it's nice to see some members of the XRP community push back, and it's nice to see a couple individuals be, a little more pro XRP than you might have expected, and from big name figures, right? So kind of cool. Anyway, I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.